And everybody back here has to wait like 15 seconds for the whole thing. What's your gearing over here, single speed? 42.16. You're a beast. Thank you. There he is again. There's my buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Old Man Winter Rally was a 100K, so about 63 miles up in Lyons, Colorado. They took us out on gravel from Lyons to Boulder, and then we took some canyon paved highways up to about 7,600 feet. And then we had a 2-mile section called Rowena Trail. It was totally snow covered from a big snowstorm we had last week. So that was a 2-mile section of single track that we actually had to hike a bike. It took us a little bit over an hour to do that section. And then there was canyon roads back to Boulder and then gravel back to Lyons. That was kind of the general overview of the route. There's 1,200 total registrants across the 50K, 100K, and then a 10K run. 2 of my good buddies came out from Kansas. Aaron Apel rode the 100K with me. Then my buddy Eric did the combo 10K run, 50K ride on my Salsa Cutthroat that I did my Unbound video on. It was the perfect sunny day. We rolled out at 10 a.m. This was my first registered event that I've done dedicated single speed. I ride this bike exclusively single speed on single track here, but it was the first race I had done, and this 34.16 was perfect. I could keep up no problem about 15 miles an hour, which is plenty enough of an average speed for me anyways on gravel races. The climbs, I rode up to a 13% grade on a paved canyon road on this. Granted, my legs felt like they were about to explode, and after that climb I did take a breather, hike just a little bit, and then got back on and pedaled some more. Obviously you spin out on the downs. 40-mile-an-hour descent, no need to pedal for me anyways, so that was totally fine. There's also an 18 cog on here in case the gearing was too stiff. I just had that on there, but I never ended up switching it. I'd say the gravel was definitely not the Kansas gravel that I was used to, kind of where we moved from in Kansas. Now we're in Denver, but I'm used to just big, chunky, hardy gravel. This was like super hard packed dirt, which was nice because the snow melt had run off, but then in certain sections, it was just like watery mud. It wasn't the mud that collects on your chainstays and your tires. It was just basically water puddles, and that's what caused kind of all the slop. This bike has been washed already too. It was totally brown. The canyon roads were a little interesting. They were big climbs, 8-9 mile long climbs with traffic. So that was kind of interesting. I'm not used to riding roads, so that was something new that I had to deal with. The descents were really fun. You'd get really warm climbing. It was about 38 degrees. Some headwind, some tailwind, some crosswind, but with 38 degrees, it was plenty warm enough to be really hot and sweaty on the climbs, to where you'd unzip, kind of cool off, and then when you get to the top, get ready to descend, you'd have to totally zip up, put your big winter Rafa gloves on, and try and stay warm. So I wore buff, I wore Rafa winter cycling gloves, and then I also had a lightweight pair of cycling gloves that I would rotate between. I had like a fleece cap on under my helmet, or a specialized jacket that keeps heat in really well. It's really lightweight, packable, but then it also breathes super well. Then just a wool t-shirt underneath, and I had a pair of long underwear on with these black pants right now. I think it's pronounced RAB, R-A-B, just to keep some water off my legs since my tights weren't waterproof. And then I also wore a pair of cycling bibs with chamois butter cream. I showed you my shoes, and then I just had a merino wool type blend sock on. So that's kind of what I had all day, and just kind of rotated between staying warm, cooling off. Love having this bar bag right here. That was really helpful. These bottles got super muddy, but I could always just transfer the water from that one to this one if I had to. The GoPro mount from Paul is really cool. The only thing was, no matter how tight I got this GoPro locking arm, it still would rotate a little bit, kind of slide back and forth, and mud from the front wheel would get the lens dirty, so I was continuously wiping that off. I just wanted to take a few minutes to kind of go over my Singlespeed Salsa Timberjack setup. I was on 29-inch wheels. These are actually 2.4s, just Terravale on DT Swiss 1800 wheels. The 350 hubs with the 52 tooth ratchet on the rear here. I've got a White Industries bottom bracket. I ran the White Industries mountain cranks with a 34 ring up front and a 16 Surly cog on the rear. Ergon, same saddle as last weekend's fat bike race. It's the SMC4 men's. I've got these Cane Creek bar ends, which are a huge help with these Ergon paddle grips. Long day in the saddle. These are really, really good for me. These Hunter Smooth Move bars, these are pretty cool. They have a little bit of a rise and a sweep to them. Got a 50mm Thompson stem here with a Paul Components GoPro mount, which is what I got all that footage off of. Had a Garmin 1030 Plus on the front. Had an SKS fender here on the rear because it was super sloppy, as you guys could see. It does have the Fox transfer dropper, but I didn't use that because of the fender and didn't really need to. Candy 7 pedals is what I run on all of my bikes. I had 3 bottles. These 2 were straight water, and then a big 32 ounce on the bars in a Revelate feed bag. This had Tailwind in it. Had some Honey Singer gels here, GoPro batteries. I also had this Stashers bar bag on the front for more nutrition. Oh yeah, I had this extra tube here on an Occam strap with the boa clip. They're made here in Denver. And then I also rode with my Pro Zumi X Alp Summit shoes. I locked out the Fox Performance 34 fork. That was just locked out all day. Guide hydraulic brakes. I also rode with a hip pack with my tools and some extra snacks. It's an aluminum size large frame from 2019. And I think I ran about 25 pounds of pressure in the tires. So that's just kind of a quick overview of the single speed setup I had for Old Man Winter. I felt really strong, but mostly just used this race as base miles for some of my longer events this year, like the Mid-South 100 mile single speed and some bigger bike packing races I plan to do later this year. So I just rode with my buddy, Aaron, and got to catch up with him, take in the views, and just have a really good day on the bike, test some new things out, and really just get out and get some more miles on the legs early year, since it's only February 8th right now. It's a pretty early race. It was about 65% paved, 35% gravel, I guess you'd say. Definitely more pavement than I'm used to, but these tires felt fine on it. I had no problem keeping up. Overall, it was a pretty cool event. They had Bootstrap Brewing Co. as the beer sponsor. There's some fire pits. There's chili and pulled pork sandwiches when we got done. A little expo in the park. Overall, I hope you guys liked my little setup here I've got and the footage from the race. Again, if you have any questions, just drop a comment and I'd love to answer. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.